Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. I hope you're all having a nice evening or morning if you're in Australia, or night. It's evening here, early evening. I wanted to talk to you all about trolls. This is not about any specific trolls, but it is a subject I think that affects a lot of people, if not all of us. Well, firstly, I'd like to say I think the term troll is a very broad term that we generally use for people who want to be anonymous and attack other people on the internet. But, I mean, sometimes people have an account which is not in their real name. Lots of you guys do to protect their own anonymity. And then, just you have an exchange, and that could be classed as a troll. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because obviously I know people who are having a hard time with trolls at the moment. No names mentioned. And something occurred to me quite a few weeks ago, actually, that what I think trolls are, I mean, people who literally go out of their way to damage other people's lives, but they want the anonymity. This is only my personal opinion, I could be completely wrong. I think trolls are people in real life who don't know how to express themselves to another person's face. Not confrontational, but they're not confident to talk to someone. Or maybe they're in a job where they feel intimidated at work. And so they're living their lives under tremendous pressure and fear and just feeling browbeaten. And then along comes the internet and they discover that they can have a username and nobody knows who they are. And so when they go home in the evenings, for them it must be like being a superhero. It's a superpower. They have the anonymity. They can use it as a release valve and take it out on everybody else. The frustrations of what goes on in their actual life. And I think a lot of them don't have a clue how much damage or distress they cause. Interestingly enough, I was reading an article a few weeks ago where they'd done a study. Oh, sun's coming through the porthole there. They'd done a study and they put out a questionnaire which people could answer in complete anonymity of their personality. And they were inviting people to join in who say they're trolls. Well, firstly, because it's anonymous, it's not really a really reliable science, is it? And secondly, the way that the people had answered the questions I found very interesting. The questionnaire was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how dangerous do you think you are? Are you a psychopath or totally harmless? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, how much sympathy do you have for other people? 0 being no sympathy, 10 being totally empathic. It was those sort of questions. And they said that something like 200 participants had more or less all put the same answers. They all declared they were psychopaths. They all declared they have no social conscience. They all declared the absolute extreme. And I found that very interesting because trolls are not honest people. They're not honest with themselves. So I believe the participants of that particular survey put the exact opposite of what they really are in real life. Again, like, it's their superhero cloak, it's their shield. Now, I've wanted to talk about this subject for some time. I can't say why yet, but there is a very special person that I want to at some point do a live with, not in the very near future. No names mentioned, and it's nobody any of you guys will have heard of, but this person is in a very unique situation. And we have been talking about the possibility of doing a pre-recorded live with each other about this subject. And also, Graham's son, as a lot of you know, is in prison for trolling. No, it's a bit more serious than trolling, actually. Apparently it was anti-Semitism. We don't know the details of it yet. and he is coming towards the end of his sentence, and so far he has told us that he was against the policies of the State of Israel, not against people for being Jewish. But we never saw any of his videos. We don't know. So I've got a little bit of something in common with this special person. And the reason I thought I would do this video today is I have friends who at the moment are suffering terrible, terrible trolling. And you might recall I think it was about 2 months ago, I did a video talking to another YouTuber who I didn't name, who was much smaller. That person, only had a few hundred subscribers, and I didn't want to name them and have them destroyed. And it was to do with, they were claiming that I don't own copyright that I own. But they had also said some strange things, that they were utterly convinced that I have other accounts on YouTube, and at the time that they claimed I was active on Twitter, which I wasn't. I've only just recently become active on X, as you all know. I don't have any other usernames on YouTube or on X or on Instagram or on any other social media platform. I've never been like that, actually. I've always, from the beginning being on the internet, if I've got something to say, I say it as me. I don't think I'm a confrontational person, but I'm quite confident to go up to somebody and say, you clearly have a problem with me. And so it's not a problem. I don't need to go into the dark and anonymity and wear a superhero shield and become a keyboard warrior. I don't need to do that, because I've been through quite a lot in life, and I have no problem saying things as if I'm me. Now, this smaller YouTuber, I think it was about 2 months ago, we were in touch subsequently afterwards, and then it stopped. But I did wonder what on earth made that smaller YouTuber think that I was whispering behind their back, because I had never heard of their channel before. It came as a complete surprise to me that they even came and attacked me. Then about 4 weeks ago, I don't think they were a YouTuber, just another username, came forward and said the same thing, and said, you've got secret accounts and you've been having a go and whispering behind people's backs. And I haven't, and I have no idea who that person was. I actually ended up blocking them. Now today, completely out of the blue, I have yet another YouTuber, another smaller channel, making exactly the same allegations publicly in comments. Now again, I'm not going to name this YouTuber. I have said to them, what the hell are you talking about? They've accused me and another YouTuber of... I said, I've never heard of you before today. They're utterly convinced. They have been emailing Graham. They are convinced. Ever more so since I said, what the fuck are you talking about? And now I realise that these smaller YouTubers are being wound up by trolls, or it's something like that, isn't it? Because there's a theme, there's a thread. And I have no idea. I really don't have time between doing the boat up, and me and Graham, as you all know, are going through quite a lot of shit, and looking after the house. Plus, I spend copious hours answering my own comments and reading all your lovely comments. I don't have time to go and seek out smaller channels to whisper behind their back to tell people not to promote them. What the hell? Why would I or any other YouTuber have the time? I never say anything bad about any other YouTuber. The only things I say are good things when I see a channel that I like. And if there are smaller channels out there that need a shout out, absolutely, I've no problem with doing that. But what I will not have is smaller channels going in the public comments saying, Avid Gardener has got it in for me and my 1,000 subscribers, or whatever the hell. Now, as I say, I'm not going to name either of these smaller channels. And this one today, I swear to God, I've never heard of them before in my life. Came out the blue for me, and it came out the blue for this other YouTuber. But clearly, I mean, these smaller YouTubers, they've genuinely, I believe, been wound up by a troll. And Graham replied to this YouTuber and said, well, what, is someone winding you up? And they replied and said, she knows what she's done, and I'm not telling her who said. Well, how the hell can anybody defend themselves against that? Oh, okay, a defendant in the dock, when they read out the charges, you know what you did, we're not telling you, and we're not telling you who accused you either. Fuck off. Grow a brain. If you have a smaller channel and you would like a shout out, leave a comment. I'll happily give you a shout out. Any smaller channel, bigger channel, I don't mind doing that at all. But grow a brain. When somebody comes to you and says someone did la 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 and you automatically believe it, well, you're a moron and you're being played by a troll. And that troll, I believe, is just a person who can't cope with life. They don't have the means or the communication to get on in life, and so they live in a very sad way, sending poison pen emails, putting poison pen keyboard warrior remarks. And also, this video is to warn any smaller channels out there. If you think that I have said or done, or I'm telling people, don't promote that little YouTube channel, I've got it in for them, I don't. But if you do want a shout out and you want me to pump your channel out, like I do for lots of other channels, then just don't email me, for God's sake. Please don't email me. Every time I do some emails and I go in the next day, that I have now got about 550 unread emails. So please, people, if because the comments take a long time, and then the emails, like I say, I go in and I'll do like 10 and I go back and it's multiplying, and I'm really, really sorry I got behind. So if you do want a shout out, put it in the comments, feel free to put a link to your channel, and I'll try and make a list, and then on the next video I will do shout outs. But what I will not have is someone with a smaller channel saying, how dare you do this, Avid God. No, fuck off, I'm not having that. Excuse my French, everybody. Anyway, I hope apart from that everyone has a lovely Saturday evening, Sunday morning, wherever, depending on where you are in the world. And hopefully, my friend, one day we will be able to do a pre-recorded live, and then all that mystery will become clear, because that person's really going through some really tough things at the moment, and they are suffering the consequences of somebody else's trolling a relative. It's terrible. If you are a troll and you're out there, at least have a thought for your family members and how they would feel if the police kicked your door in, because I know with my stepson, I believe he didn't take it seriously, apparently, and one morning at about 5:30, I think they were terrorist police, kicked his door in, and it scared the shit out of him, and it scared the shit out of his fiancée, and it's been very, very hard on her. So try it if you're a troll. I know the police don't take it seriously, don't take it seriously, don't take it seriously, and it's the one day they go boom and they kick the door in. Next thing you know, you're up before a judge, and you could be looking up the backside of as much as a 9-year prison sentence. Please take that into consideration. Anyway, that's enough from me for this evening. I'm off to have a vino now. I haven't had any yet. Oh, and I might go and watch some more CSI Las Vegas. It was getting a bit gruesome there today. As always, thank you very much for listening.